All right, so this video kind of goes with the last one. There was a couple of points that I didn't put in the last video that kind of came to mind as soon as the video was over that I think kind of goes hand in hand with the other point. And my last video was called "Your attachment to what you want is keeping you further away from it," which is kind of like an ironic statement because you think that if you want something and you show something that you want it, that you'll draw closer to it. You know what I mean? By putting in the effort. But in manifestation in every other area of your life, when you're chasing women and they don't really want you, when you're chasing money, the money slips from your grasp at times you least expect it. And the same thing with manifestation. The shit that you want already exists. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the point I'm going to go on with this video. The stuff that you want already exists. And it's two different ways we can look at it. We can look at it from like how we were taught to look at it or look at it from the other side coming in. So what I mean by that is if what you want already exists and there's people who are not from the same circumstances that you who have it and who do have it. There's people who's your same race who has it and who doesn't have it. There's people who's smarter or dumber than you who has it and don't has it. Who is the common denominator? The people, not the thing that you want. The thing that you want is neutral. It doesn't really give a fuck who's in its possession. You know what I mean? As long as you can take care of it or afford it to be that person who deserves it. You know what I mean? Like you have to have the money to buy the car that you want of your dreams or be the person who that car deserves. But that car doesn't really care who it goes to as long as you can handle it. So same thing with your manifestation. You don't have it because you want it too much, and you want it too much because you're coming from the standpoint of I'm trying to obtain it, I'm trying to get it. It's at point C, I'm at point B, and I have to get to point C. You know what I mean? Rather than us looking at it from a different point of view. If that's point B, I'm point C. You know what I mean? It should be coming to me. And the way your manifestation comes to you is by you being the identity that it will want. Like I said, we were taught we have to work hard to get things and obtain things. And sometimes we usually get it, but it doesn't last for as long as we want it. You know what I mean? So you can either exert so much energy trying to obtain the things that a lot of people have who's ever looking at it work better than you, less than you, however you want to look at it. Or you can just be the identity who that thing has no choice but to want. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like when you get a girl. When you get a girl, there's certain men who don't want the girl. There's certain celebrities who don't want the girl who's in love with them. But they just have all the qualities. They embody all the qualities that girl thinks she wants or that girl wants. So it's the same thing with your manifestation. You can chase your manifestation and try to get it. Hey, see me, I want you. Or you can kind of be like a celebrity when it comes to like their fan who's females. You know what I mean? You could just embody and be the person that thing automatically wants, so you don't have to exert that much energy. And the way you do that is by you getting the feeling of how it is to have it, by you, I don't want to say programming yourself, but you getting used to visualizing and seeing the experience you want before it materializes into 3D, which you have the object to have. You know what I mean? The Bible talks about there's trees that doesn't die no matter what season it is, whatever. It's like 5 senses, and that just basically means the 5 senses, the internal senses. You know what I mean, of the inner you, not the physical you. And like I said, my thing is visualization. The more I go inside to myself and give the experience I want to myself, the more I don't need it in the 3D. You know what I mean? I'm kind of rewiring myself to understand that okay, the real world is the mind, not the 3D world. But we were taught the opposite, that the real world is a 3D world, and we end up reacting to it in ways that we don't want to react to it. You know? So if you just become the person, you know what I mean, embody, visualize, affirm, script, whatever you want down, and just keep seeing yourself having it right now because you have it right now. Just because it's unseen and you can't see it with your physical eyes, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Because a lot of things we can't see with our physical eyes that exist. So give yourself the experience, and then over time, you ain't gonna care for it. You're gonna naturally detach from it because you understand that you already have it. And the 3D world, which always changes, can't do anything for you. So then it's gonna end up changing into the person that you're embodying in that state. So then you deserve the things that you want. And it's kind of like even people who are millionaires, people look for outside things. Instead of you getting the feeling to become the person that thing wants, we look for those outside things to give us the feeling that we already can have before we get it. And you see this with millionaires all the time. They get everything they want, but a lot of them still want to commit suicide. A lot of them can't deal with the pressure of being rich or the people who wants them and the people who's bugging them and all that because they got the experience that they wanted without really being the person who deserves it. You know, it was kind of premature and they wasn't really ready or solidified for that spot yet. So if you want to solidify yourself for that spot, so when the thing does materialize that you want, It's neutral. You already had it. You gave it to yourself internally for so long that you're not surprised that it materializes. Whereas the rich people who commit suicide and things of that nature, they think that the outside thing is going to fix their internal emotions. But you see, we have no connection to the materialization of things because it's material. It's not real. It constantly changes. So how can something that's real, that's always been here, which is consciousness, which is God, which is us, have an attachment to something that hasn't always been here, something that's not going to be here? You know what I mean? So give yourself the experience, embody that feeling. And it's not saying you gotta feel like, oh my God, I feel like, no. We're not saying feel it like a memory, like something you have already experienced. No, but you understand when you want something, that same feeling you get from just thinking about it in the 3D, give yourself that same type of feeling on the internal when you're giving it to yourself. The same way you like, damn, like that I would love that car. Like, damn, it feel good to drive that car. You do the same thing internally. And the more you give it to yourself internally, the more you're not gonna look for the 3D world to materialize it and give it to you. And then when you stop looking for the 3D world to materialize it and give it to you, the irony, that's when it materializes because you detach from the outcomes.